Tomorrow is the 32nd anniversary of our independence. As I speak to you on the eve of this auspicious occasion, my joy is mixed with anxiety with regard to the future. The founding fathers of our Constitution had reposed faith in the maturity and innate wisdom of our people and had envisaged a steady and progressive evolution of the quality of the democratic way of life in our country. They had assumed, and not without good reason, that with our glorious heritage and long traditions of morality and conduct in public life, we would not prove unequal to the challenge of the future. How have you discharged this trust? We should search our hearts on this occasion and ascertain how, when, and why we have fallen short of these high expectations.
This is All India
We
Radio.
are each one of us
archives
responsible
recording.
for this state of affairs we find ourselves in today. It would be an exercise in futility to find fault with one section of our society or other for the crisis of character through which we are passing. While we celebrate Independence Day tomorrow, we must remind ourselves of the selfless lives of the stalwarts of our struggle for freedom. We have been an example to the rest of the world as the world's largest democracy, and us is in a part of the world. Our national edifice symbolizes the new sentiments enshrined in our Constitution. My countrymen, it is with a deep concern that I speak to you tonight, as I see the stresses and strains to which these noble ideals have been subjected to in the recent times. Why do we seek to willfully damage, if not destroy, this great country and the secular democratic way of life so dear to our hearts? Everywhere around us today we hear not counsels of restraint and conciliation, but discordant voices raised in the spirit of confrontation which threaten to destroy the very foundations of our society. This is no time for mutual recrimination or equally barren destructive criticism. Indeed, this is the time and opportunity for national reconciliation. Irrespective of caste or creed, men and women of goodwill need to exert themselves to the utmost to shoulder the heavy and onerous responsibilities which our present complex situation demands. I do not wish to point an accusing finger at any political party or line of political thinking for the tensions under which we all live and work today. On the other hand, I wish to appeal to you to take stock of our present situation objectively and join hands in a forward-looking and constructive exercise to restore harmony among ourselves and also ensure that there will be no quarter given to those who work for the disintegration of our nationhood. All of us are Indians first and Indians last. If India dies, who among us will live? And will such a life be worth living? This sobering thought should guide us and conduct in the crucial days ahead. Our Constitution, which is the most comprehensive written constitution in the world, cannot obviously provide for every possible contingency in our national life. Necessarily, therefore, healthy conventions based on sound and lasting principles of public morality and uncompromisable
This is
basic
All India
values
Radio
in public
archives
life
recording.
will have to be evolved. But this is not all. We have to take note of the rapidly changing lifestyle of our body politic. Never since independence have principles been compromised and the basic values of life treated with such contempt. The time is ripe now for enlightened public opinion in the mainstream of our national life to consider the steady and cumulative deterioration of standards in public life and public morality in all its aspects, and review the provisions of the Constitution in the light of our experience of working it over the last 3 decades. We are today facing tasks of such magnitude and complexity as our people have not faced before, Here again, I do not wish to apportion blame at shortcomings in one or other sphere of nation building activity. In our hearts, all of us know where our failures lie. All of us know that the goals we have set for ourselves cannot be achieved without the cooperation and goodwill of all sections of our society. What then is holding us up in our march towards the realization of our dreams for prosperity and happiness for all? I would like you all to ponder about this vital issue. If you do, your conscience will point to certain basic obligations which each one of us has to accept, even if it means the subordination of personal ego for the larger good. Our freedom from alien domination was achieved by the countrywide awakening of our national conscience and the sacrifice of millions of our countrymen, known and unknown, who made the overthrow of foreign rule inevitable. It's a similar awakening of our national conscience which we must now seek. Else, we shall all perish. This conscience and will of our people is reflected in Parliament, which is supreme. It is with these sobering thoughts in mind that I send you all my felicitations on the eve of yet another Independence Day. Let's all rise to our full stature as citizens of this great country and ensure that sacrifices made by our stalwart founding fathers have not been made in vain. History will censure us if we do not act with foresight, goodwill, and courage in this hour of national crisis. It's only thus that we can ensure for generations to come a fuller and meaningful way of life in this great land of Buddha, Asoka, and the great Mahatma. Jai Hind.